was always the guy.
You were the guy.
Until I got to college. Yeah. When I got to college, I was not the guy anymore.
There was a thing with Tom Brady, I don't know if you saw it, where he was only getting like 3 snaps of practice. Did you ever see that thing?
Well, that's how it always works.
I know, but he was getting 3 snaps for practice at his moments, and he was like, I'm going to get 3 opportunities. They're going to be the best 3 snaps that anybody has ever seen, and I'm not going to mess it up. That way, every time I get in there, they're not worried about me doing something wrong. They're only going to see me do something perfect. If I only have to do things perfect 3 times, it's going to be perfect all 3 times. And those 3 snaps led to 4, led to this, led to those opportunities.
They threw the throwback to me. It was a sprint out right throwback, and I dropped it.
Did you think you were never getting another pass thrown at you?
Never get another one. I'm like, that's it. They're not throwing the ball back to me. I caught 5 passes that game.
There you go.
Yeah.
Putting an opportunity where I was like trying to steal a starter's position type thing, like, you know, on any type of level. But I have witnessed my kid like have to earn it. And you can face adversity at 9. Then you can face adversity when you're 10, 11, 12, and so on. You know, as long as we don't overly protect you as a parent, right? And so he was faced with it this year where he's played soccer at a competitive level, and this is the first year that it's at a really highly competitive level where it's full-blown travel soccer. Like, so you know why. And this is like, I felt so proud. I'm like, you just told me every reason why.
Very nervous. My first start was against Notre Dame.
Yep.
Welcome to the New Dad Order podcast, brought to you by Burns Estate Planning and Wealth Advisors. With 12 locations from Hammond, Louisiana, all the way over to Florida, they are your go-to when it comes to financial planning and or retirement planning. So if you need any information or contact information, check out the description below. My name is Ray. We got Parfait over there.
How's it going, everybody? Ray, how are you doing?
I am a little loopy, but I'm doing well.
No, you're good, man.
Doing well, yeah.
You know what? But, you know, loopy, but then you have smart people like Ernie in the Burns Estate Planning. And you realize that, you know what? We could be dumb because there's a lot of smart people in that world that know how to do things in a certain way and a level of maturity that we lack at certain times.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I mean, that episode with Ernie was really good because when he talked about being a leader and his team and doing things, he had to remove a lot of emotion out of his day-to-day operations, but yet still react to things and still be able to make confident decisions, knowing that people depending on those decisions, not just his employees, but also the people that go to him for, you know, financial advice. And whenever you talk to people like that, you realize that they operate at a different level, not monetarily, not just socially. Like they operate on a different level of the way they process certain things and the way their brain works to allow them to see the finish line, but know that they can't skip any obstacles along the way and embrace every obstacle that they encountered too. Because that guy went through a lot of stuff in his life.
A lot of stuff.
Childhood through adulthood, and you realize that resilience is not something that you could just claim to have. Like you either do it, you either have it or you don't. That's one of those dudes that definitely has it.
Oh yeah, he has it. And I guess the one big thing that I took from him is just a drive. He had the drive to be successful.
Yeah, I mean,
not give up.
Yeah, not even from the career that he ended up, you know, pursuing. From he was trying to be an Olympian. You've got to have a certain level of drive to achieve something like that. You also have to have like a certain level of arrogance, and like there's a positive level of arrogance too. And I think like everybody has some level of arrogance, and like you have to have it because you have to believe in yourself that much to be able to achieve a solo Olympian career. You know, like of course being a part of a team sport, you still have to be really skilled and good. But to like truly do something where you're the only person that can you know affect the outcome of your results, and it's in, you know, he was going for Taekwondo, so like he could kick your ass, and he was really disciplined.
Is that the truth?
Yeah, I'd probably take him now. No, but yeah, man. So how's life?
Good. I mean, you know, in talking about him as an athlete and his drive and whatnot, I mean, I guess it took a lot of emotional maturity. Is that the word?
Emotional
maturity.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, you got to swallow your ego, but yet still have one big enough to keep moving forward and not give up.
So he had to have a lot of ice in his veins. He had to be ready to go.
Ice in the veins. What does that mean? What does that mean? We use that that's like such a sports cliche, right? And so you hear ice in the veins. Who's the first athlete you think of?
Michael Jordan.
Obviously, right? Who's number two?
Number two?
Yeah. Who's the second guy you think of?
Drew Brees.
Drew?
Yeah.
Really? Not like Tom Brady.
No,
I mean, obviously not.
I did not. No.
Yeah, you did.
I did not. Tom Brady is a good example.
Yeah, there's two guys that come to,
yeah,
there's two. That that's the two. It's
I'm
Michael
even,
Jordan and Tom Brady for me.
I'm even thinking Peyton Manning.
Really?
Even thinking Peyton Manning.
Choked at some spots there.
Oh, in the beginning.
Threw a pick six to some guy wearing black and gold in the Super Bowl.
I don't think it was his fault. I think the guy ran the wrong route.
Really?
Yeah.
You know who did run the right route? Porter.
I was a good guy for the Saints. I was a good guy for the Saints.
Yeah, that team was special.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, so ice water in the veins, right? So real quick before we get started, guys, Thursday. Thursday is the thing that I have relied on over the last 8 months to get me back into recovery and get a good night's sleep. It doesn't have melatonin. It has everything your body needs to get back to recovery, to get a good workout in. Use the promo code NDOZZZ to get a discounted checkout. What does it mean? What does it mean to you? Like, we know the definition, but obviously, I say obviously, if you've listened to us, you know that Ray was big time Division I athlete there at the University of Pitt. Had to play in a lot of big moments to get himself to that position to play at the University of Pitt. So when you hear ice water in the veins, I'm thinking it may possibly mean something different because you've been around guys that have had it. You've actually been around guys that have had it, not just watched them on your television.
Right. It's those guys that they're calm, cool, and collected, and they do what they're supposed to do. It's the close proximity that I was in with the Curtis Martins, the Sean Gilberts, the Keith Hamiltons, and I could go on and on with the different guys. Tom Tumulty. I could keep going.
So first name you mentioned was Curtis Martin.
Yeah. Hall of Famer, running back.
Curtis, my favorite Martin. That was Chris Berman's name.
And when he was at Pitt, we used to call him Curtis the Razor Martin because he would just cut on a dime. But he was a lot smaller, a lot slimmer than.
He wasn't very big in the NFL either.
Oh, he got bigger. He got bigger versus what he was in college. Yeah.
So was he a leader on the team? And what I mean by that is, like, not every time the best athlete on the team or the best player on the team is a leader. It seems like the NFL has got, like, they started this, I don't know, a decade or so ago where they throw that C on the chest of every position. And I don't necessarily think that, like, not every position has a true captain. And was he actually a leader, a captain on the team, or was it somebody else? Like, who was, talking about emotional maturity, but it doesn't mean that emotional maturity is from the captain. It doesn't mean that it's from the leader. Like, was he the leader or the captain on that team?
I mean, he eventually, not his first year there, even though he started as a running back. But eventually, I think sophomore and on.
Well, that's still pretty young if he was able to do it as a sophomore and turn heads to.
But it was more of, he wasn't involved. I'll tell you this, in my experience, in my 40-something years in sports, the best leaders are the leaders that lead by example, are the ones that just do what they have to do. The loud guys are really good leaders.
Have you ever been around a loud guy that is a really good leader, though? Because I think they do exist, because if you think about, obviously we're talking about a Hall of Famer, but those are the people that stand out whenever we watch professional sports. But Ray Lewis, he was loud. He was emotional. And he was obviously a leader.
I think Ray, and I think Ray became that later in life.
True.
When his skill set started to diminish. When his skill set started to diminish.
No, but his skill set will diminish later on in his career.
He got louder.
But it's up to him to get those guys to elevate their game, because his knowledge wasn't going to go away.
No, the knowledge was there.
His knowledge of the game was never going to go away.
Ever. It's still there now.
So it was up to him to help pull those guys up to be at a level that he knew that, hey, I need you to have my back almost, because I know where you're supposed to be. I know what I'm supposed to do.
Mm-hmm.
And so,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I could see that. Like, he didn't come into the league chirping.
No.
It evolved into that.
Yes.
Because he
just
earned the
look
right
at-
to be able to do that.
Look at all the guys. Tom Brady. Not very vocal. I'm the quarterback. I mean, of course, a lot of interviews.
Yeah. In time.
He got more vocal towards the end.
Yeah.
He was more vocal.
Did you see the thing
Peyton
about Tom
Manning.
Brady? But, well, I don't know. Peyton Manning was.
Got more vocal. I'm not talking about the calling out the audibles and all that stuff.
No. Not, yeah. But, I mean, there was a thing with Tom Brady, I don't know if you saw it, where he was only getting like 3 snaps of practice. Did you ever see that thing?
Well, that's how it always works.
I know,
Mm-hmm.
but he was getting 3 snaps for practice. And whenever he'd get in there for his 3 snaps, like he would go through everything he could possibly go through. He talked about it in an interview. And it's almost like one where it would be an eye roll moment to an extent until you hear him say the words about he had his moments. And he was like, I'm going to get 3 opportunities. They're going to be the best 3 snaps that anybody has ever seen. And I'm not going to mess it up. That way, every time I get in there, they're not worried about me doing something wrong. They're only going to see me do something perfect. So if I only have to do things perfect 3 times, it's going to be perfect all 3 times.
Mm-hmm.
And those 3 snaps led to 4, led to this, led to those opportunities.
I think that's why they had no problem putting him in when Bledsoe went down.
I also think, as we talk about emotional maturity, where it is very easy to get caught up in yourself right there and say, I'm supposed to be out there. I should be out there. I should be doing this. And I think there's a lot where I think parents do this to some of their kids in youth sports, and it encourages the mentality of, give me the ball. I'm going to be the best out there. Give me the ball. You got to want the ball. And not necessarily focusing on you can demand the ball, that's one thing, but whenever you can demand it all you want, doesn't mean you're going to get it. You have to take the opportunity when you have it to do everything the right way to where they understand that you're buying in and not saying, I deserve the right. Like, don't bring entitlement to it. Do you follow what I'm saying?
I do.
I think people in their head think that the right thing to do is to be Johnny Hustle and let the coaches know that I'm going to do this. I'm going as hard as I can go, opposed to being the most efficient and the best teammate whenever you have the opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
And I think Tom Brady, whenever he talks about his 3 snaps that he got in practice, I think he is completely selling the point of, it is not about demanding the opportunity to play. It's about, when you had the opportunity to do anything, let them know that you're not going to mess it up.
That's
you're focused enough.
That's 100%. Something I'm trying to teach our kids. Well, I try to teach our kids every year that I've been coaching rec ball, is when you get an opportunity, especially for the backups, when you get an opportunity to get in, do the best possible to show us that you can play these positions. And to talk about Tom Brady, and if anybody's out there and you hear anything that Tom Brady has to say about anything, listen, soak it up, and try to utilize it. Anything that he says.
Probably not relationship advice.
That's a good point.
No, I know.
When it comes to sports.
Okay, there we go. It is true. I mean, there's certain people where I want to hear every quote that they have to say. Tom Brady falls into that. And for me, forever, I mean, I was a Kobe guy. I'm still a Kobe guy.
Mm-hmm.
I love Kobe.
Mm-hmm.
I wish he was still alive. Like, probably my favorite player ever. And every time there's something that strolls across social media where Kobe is sitting in a chair talking to somebody, like, I'm tuned in. Like, I don't know. I just, regardless of the fact that everything he said was calculated, like, I know it was calculated, but the difference between he and LeBron is that Kobe's calculated responses were because he had thought about this from his own perspective and not putting it into what other people wanted to hear. And I think, like, LeBron tries to be a people pleaser, and that's a great quality in life, because for someone to be in the position that he is, that he loves being a people pleaser, like, That's great. Like the world needs more people like him that have the means to help people. Kobe was a lot more of a me guy, but his me mentality was calculated in the sense that he was going to do what he needed to get done. No one was going to stand in his way. And if you weren't going to help his cause, then you needed to move on, son. And that was the way he saw it. Like, and that could be ruthless. And we say you got to be ruthless in business. You got to be ruthless in certain things, but you got to be compassionate. When do you do it? When don't you do it? I don't know. For me, Kobe was one of those guys where when it came to his career and what he did, he was very focused and driven. Kobe is a guy where regardless of how calculated he was, it was calculated with a reason. And if you couldn't help him achieve what he was trying to achieve, then you needed to move on. And what he was trying to achieve, although it may have been selfish, it was still a team sport. So there's only so much selfishness you can have in a team sport.
Yeah.
It was still about, the team achieving the goal.
Like I want to say, no, he must have copied Jordan because
he did.
Well, no, I'm just saying, like, you've seen the documentary, the Jordan's documentary, on the Bulls.
Yeah.
And how he was just an a-hole to his teammates.
Yeah, probably too much.
Right? And the teammates would say that, like, yeah, but we won.
Yeah.
We won. He took me to another level. I mean, there were some guys that he was very cool with. Kerr, very cool with.
Yeah, he had his inner circle.
He put Kerr out there. Basically said, no, we're going to have, Kerr shoot that shot. And he hit that buzzer beater. But he had different guys that I guess were cool and they understood what he brought. And so they're like, yeah, we're just going to work hard just like him.
Yeah.
But there were other guys that wanted to push back a little bit. And he pushed back harder. And they finally gave in. And you'd hear those stories, but at the end of the day, they were like, we won.
Yeah. No, I mean, winning is the ultimate deodorant whenever things happen. You're also talking about the greatest ever to do it. So it's a little bit different.
Yeah. So to say that, Jordan was talking about that and Kobe had that same mentality. I think Kobe, though, worked harder than Jordan. I think Kobe was in the gym a lot more than Jordan. And I think Kobe should be considered one of the greatest.
I mean, I think he is. I don't know who denies that.
There's a lot of people that still will not put him in the top 5.
Oh, you see, well, like top 5s, top 10s, I think that's all. That's just for, I mean, that's clickbaitish type stuff. So, like, I think like there's Jordan, like all time, right? And of course, people say LeBron. Okay, whatever, man. Like, even if you want to group them, but in the Mount Rushmore of the best to do it, I don't know how is he not there.
I don't
know how he's not there. And you know what? Whatever. Like Bill Russell, sure, whatever. If that's what you want to claim, I don't know.
I think he was the best team guy, Bill Russell.
I couldn't speak for if he was or wasn't because that's way before the time that I cared, about
stat wise. I'm just talking stats.
Yeah, well, but
that's all we could talk to.
But yeah, I guess. But there's a lot of. But we're not talking about stats though because we're talking about what Jordan brought to the table. We're talking about what. So, but if people are only putting people in there because of stats, then you know what? Jordan may not even be numbered because he wasn't a stat compiler.
Yeah, it was more subjective, huh? It's more what we saw, what he did, that he was with the same team. He kept getting his butt beat. He made it to the playoffs. He put the Bulls on his back for the first
6 finals appearances, 6 championships.
He put him on his back. Finally got a couple of key components, and then boom, here they go.
So I mean, if you want to go strictly, like obviously he had some years that statistically was not duplicated, but I'm sure you can grab stats. Statistics don't. It's got to be removed from your Mount Rushmore of sports. Figures like for their individual sport. Only simply put because you can't compare guys in the NFL anymore. If you start comparing Troy Aikman's stats to the 15th best quarterback in the NFL now, well, Troy Aikman was garbage. Yeah, but he also had one of the best running backs that ever played, lining up. It was just a different game. So in the NBA is a different game. I mean, you start piling up stats and Steph only shoots threes.
I'm a Cowboys fan. And
I know, I'm sorry.
No, it's okay.
Or your kids, you didn't raise them that way, though.
What's that?
None of your kids are Cowboys fans, right?
No, unfortunately. They want nothing to do with him.
Thank God they took after their mother.
But the thing is, I mean, I like Emmitt Smith.
Okay. He was a hell of a dancer.
But yeah, he was. He won it, didn't he?
He did win it.
The thing is, though, he was behind probably one of the greatest offensive lines in NFL history.
Yeah, that's okay.
People need to understand.
Yeah.
If you're behind a line like that,
you still have to be good. You still have to be good.
I think he was a 4.7, 4.8 guy.
It doesn't matter.
When you can automatically hit the hole and it's wide open and get 6 yards of carry, you're gonna be able to do some things down the field.
This is a Cowboys
versus
fan.
Yeah. I love Emmitt Smith. I love Emmitt Smith. Emmitt Smith is the man. Troy Aikman, the man. You get a Barry Sanders. You know, you can play that game, right?
Yeah.
Oh, what if Barry Sanders had that offensive line?
It's not fair to Emmitt Smith, though. It's not fair. I mean, the dude was good in college, too.
He was okay. Yeah, he was okay. Obviously, he was good in college. Obviously, right? Obviously.
Talk to you about a new pre-workout, relatively new to the market. It's not loaded with caffeine like a lot of the other pre-workouts, but it is based in nootropics, which actually helps brain function. It's going to get you ready for the workout. I'm a 5 a.m.er. I need it. A lot of flavors. Hit the link in the description. It'll take you to the website. You'll get a new dad order discount. Pick your flavor. Bunch of other products as well. They have canned energy drinks. Thanks for listening. Check out Dubby and get that workout in. But how do we? All right. So I mean, I know we're just talking about sports and now we're debating on who's the best ever. But
a little bit, yeah. No.
But whenever we start talking about the like the emotional maturity part of it, how do we shape that into like our kids? Right? Like, I mean, you mentioned that like, hey, you tell the kids that you coach, like when you have the opportunity, you know, make the most of it. But how do you actually get that connection to them? Like, how do you know? Have you seen it actually click for a kid? Have you had a kid who was a backup, not having great success, take that advice and actually steal a starter spot? Has it happened?
Not yet. No.
It hasn't.
No. I don't think.
So how do you get a kid to buy in if you haven't seen it happen?
Well, it's not the buy-in, and it's not being able to take at that level, 11 to 13 years old. There's a disparity sometimes in talent because you have 11-year-old that's backing up a 13-year-old.
Yeah.
So there's going to be a disparity in talent. I've seen that backup though get so much better, not better than the starter, but so much better because of his mental fortitude. The physicality was always there. I can see it not get better than the
How much time do you have to put in with that kid though? Like for him not to get discouraged? Is it, and babying is the wrong word, but I'm just going to use it for hyperbole because it's such the you know, on the other side of it. But how much babying did you have to do to make sure that he stayed focused and still wanted to work hard and still got better? Or was he just wired to where he just did it? Like, was he not getting discouraged? Was he discouraged? Like, did you have to keep him?
No, there's some that do get discouraged. Repetition. We've talked about that. So the starters would get maybe 4 plays, and then you put the backups in. They get 2 plays. Starters back in. Here we go. Show us what you got.
Trying to make sure that those 2 reps stayed, like they were locked in for you're getting ready to go in. You know you're getting ready to go in. Find it and do it. So did you have that happen to you? I mean, and I'm not, and it's okay if you didn't. Like you're a different specimen of a human being. Like that. Like that's why you ended up where you did.
Yeah.
But did you? Everything you had was earned because that's the way it happens whenever you play big time D1 sports.
Yeah.
But did you have to take someone's spot? Did you have to earn that spot more? Like, was it not yours and became yours type thing? Or where they were like, Ray's going to be this dude and we know it's going to be him?
Rec ball, no, I was always the guy.
You were the guy.
Until I got to college.
Yeah.
When I got to college, I was not the guy anymore.
You found out who the real dude was.
I was a small guy. Now, as a freshman, I got to travel. So I was like the 3rd string tight end. So 1, 2, 4th string tight end because we use a 2 tight end set.
But the starter always got hurt.
No.
Right?
No.
I thought one of the guys was.
That was the next year.
That was the next year. Okay.
Yeah, Rob Coons. I don't know if you're out there, buddy. Rob Coons from California. He was like 6'5", 6'6". I think 6'5". Just a surfer dude. Like had the shit. He was so cool. Rob Coons. And he had huge feet. I remember Rob with huge feet. And it was just, I'm like, how do you run so fast? Right? Big white California dude, 6'5" California dude, who was a junior college transfer when I got there as a freshman. And then the next year he was the starter.
Okay.
But he got hurt. And I was up.
That was Ray Belvin's chance.
I was up. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And what's funny is, all right, Ray, here we go.
They get nervous?
Yeah, they were very nervous.
They were nervous?
Very nervous.
Were you nervous?
Very nervous. Very nervous. My first start was against Notre Dame.
Yep, Notre Dame.
Was against Notre Dame on TV.
At Notre Dame?
No.
As at Pitt?
At Pitt, yep.
Okay.
I
tried to find the game on YouTube. I could not.
No?
No.
I don't know. There's some. I
Googled Ray Belvin. All I found was bad poker stats.
Yeah, that was my first game. They threw the throwback to me. It was a sprint out right throwback, and I dropped it.
Did you think you were never getting another pass thrown to you?
Never get another one. I'm like, that's it. They're not throwing the ball back to me. I caught 5 passes that game.
There you go.
Yeah.
Came back
pretty good game. I got the radio player of the game.
The radio player of the game?
Mm-hmm.
Radio Shack or radio? Like, what do you mean by radio?
So, like, WWL, they do a radio.
Oh, so like the radio 90s. Broadcast.
The radio broadcast, yeah. I got the player of the game for Pitt.
There you go.
Notre Dame kicked the crap out of us, but yeah.
That's all right. Man.
Yeah. So
Notre Dame was good. But who was Notre Dame's quarterback then?
I think that was Jerome's freshman year.
Oh, wow.
Okay. Who was I can't remember the starting quarterback, but it was Holtz. Holtz was the coach.
Well, yeah. That's a good guess.
Louis Holtz was the
Louis?
head coach.
You call him Louis?
Yeah, I do now. Yeah. I do now. Yeah.
Louis Holtz. No, so I mean, I honestly, I was never put in an opportunity where I was like trying to steal a starter's position type thing, like, on any type of level.
Mm-hmm.
But I have witnessed my kid like have to earn it. Like he's a solid little athlete, right? Like, I mean, for what he is, outside of like whenever he was like tiny running around the soccer field, he dominated, but as he got older, he had to find his groove and work for everything. And he doesn't mind working hard, which is like his greatest asset as a human being at 9 years old, is that he enjoys working hard. And like, that makes me the most proud. Like the most proud that I am of him is that even though he gets extremely frustrated, it's that his ability to continue to work hard and he can find motivation. Now, don't get me wrong. Like, I try to shape his mentality as much as I can. And I've tried to do that from such a young age. And honestly, a lot of that is by like, hey, I feed him some Kobe quotes. And I know how it works on my brain, and I hope that it works on his. And it doesn't necessarily mean just in athletics, but that is his biggest challenge in life right now is athletics. It is a thing that he enjoys, but is also the thing that demands the most out of him, right? Mm-hmm. And so he's had to prove himself in different ways. He got really sick whenever he was 7 years old, and like he couldn't play sports for a little while, and we battled through it, and he was struggling hitting the ball. And I'm like, dude, whenever you're ready to work, let me know, we're going to work. And man, he was like, Dad, I'm ready to work. Mm-hmm. And it was every day whenever he come get me, we were hitting off the tees. We were doing all kind of hitting drills. And what do you know? That came around, absolutely destroying the ball in the spring season, for that year whenever we were playing 7U travel ball, because 7U travel ball is the most important thing in life. But no, I mean, he played travel ball. He had to earn that spot on that team. He tried out for that team. He made the team, right? He plays on teams where he is fully aware of who the best player is. He's never assumed that he was the best player. Didn't care if he was the best player. So-and-so is our best hitter. So-and-so is our best fielder. So-and-so is our best pitcher. He's fine. Like, he's completely comfortable in his own skin, knowing the role that he plays on the team. At the same time, being completely confident in himself every single time he stepped up to the plate, or he had to make a play, or if he was playing basketball, anytime the ball was in his hand, never shied away from it. Good. Like, these are good things because you're not shying away from things that are challenging, which means that you have to study for something that's really hard in life, or you have to go on an interview. I'm like, these are all those building blocks that are going to help you become a good man one day, a good father one day, and you can face adversity at 9, then you can face adversity when you're 10, 11, 12, and so on, as long as we don't overly protect you as a parent, right? And so he was faced with it this year where he's played soccer at a competitive level, and this is the first year that it's at a really highly competitive level where it's full-blown travel soccer. So we've got travel soccer and travel baseball going on at the same time. And his soccer skills, although he is naturally gifted, we were not touching a ball as much as what we were supposed to be touching a ball, and it showed. And we had our first tournament, and they won the tournament. Great. Extremely excited, celebrating with the team, raising the cup up in the air and everything else. And I could see them as the team is walking over to the parents, because the coaches, after they win a game or after they play a game, the coaches say, go hug your parents, which is great. It's just like, get that emotional support from your parents, win, loss, whatever. Go see them, thank them for being there, for supporting you and everything else. And I could see him as he's walking to me, and he was just celebrating with his team because they won the championship. But yet something wasn't. He had this little glare over his face, and I could just tell, because I'm his dad, that something wasn't sitting right. Let him go. We take pictures. We do everything we're supposed to do. After that, we get in the car. We're going home. I'm like, hey, man, what's going on? What's wrong? And I'm like, you're not telling me the truth. I'm like, what's wrong? He's like, I didn't play much in the championship game. I said, yep. I said, you didn't. I said, how'd that make you feel? I didn't like it. I was like, why do you think you didn't play? He said, well, because I haven't been practicing very well, and I know I haven't been playing as much soccer as what I'm supposed to be playing, and I wasn't out there. I was like, so you know why? And this is like, I felt so proud. I'm like, you just told me every reason why. So what are we going to do about it? We're going to start working more. I was like, well, what do you want to do? I was like, you want to go to practice early? We'll go get like 30, 40 minutes in before practice actually starts. Yeah, I said, it's not going to be fun, right? But we're going to get there. We're going to work really hard, and I'll help you do that. If you want to do it, I'll get out there and we're going to help you do it. I don't know everything about soccer, but I know what you need to work on. And he said, okay. And so we did that. And so we'd show up early. We'd go in the backyard. We'd work on passes, work on touches, just running with the ball, just doing everything possible. Some little dude earned a spot where he don't walk off the field very often now.
Wow.
And I remind him of them, like, you understand that you earned your spot back on that field. Like, they didn't give it to you. Coach didn't give it to you. And I'm like, yeah, dude, I'm like, this is what it takes. And so, like, he saw the success of the extra work. He wanted to do the extra work. I've just got to make sure that he stays that route for everything. Like, he's very adamant about his grades too. Like, he wants to make straight A's. And I'm like, well, if you want to make straight A's, that's your grades. You have to earn those grades. No one's going to give them to you. So we have to make sure we study. And so it's like, hey man, we got practice. We got to study this before we go to practice. I don't feel like. I'm like, it's your grades, man. I'm okay if you make B's. But if you want to make straight A's, like, we better study now, and then we got to study when we get back from practice. Okay, let's study.
Just a little nudge here and there, right?
Yeah, that's it. But it's the nudge that he told me he wanted. And like, I'm trying to keep him in that direction. Like, he's not a perfect kid. I'm not a perfect dad. But all I know is that I've got one that I've got to worry about. Some people have 2, 3, 4 kids. I can't compare what it's like to do that and to try to keep all of them motivated.
Right.
But I have one that has some self-motivation, and I just want to make sure he doesn't lose that self-motivation. And so when I have conversations with you and I start asking you these questions about whenever you were at Pitt and these guys you played with and what they did, it's not because, I have aspirations of my kid to play that. If it worked out, great. But it's more along the lines of, let's keep his brain working in the direction of guys who have been really successful. And when we have conversations with people like Ernie or people like Jason, where we've had those interviews and those guys are successful in their fields, like, what was the moment? What was the click? What was the adversity?
Right.
What was the successes? What was the drive? And I just try to keep that channeled into him, because knowing the things that I could have accomplished in life and I haven't, I want him to have those opportunities.
Yeah, it's awesome.
The
thing too that I'm seeing, that I'm hearing also, is that he's going to be a lot more mature than I was at that level. See, I was rocking and rolling when I went to Pitt, and like after my sophomore year, spring ball, I won the Ed Conway Award. The Ed Conway Award is the most improved. All the coaches vote on this.
Okay, so
the most improved
special
offensive
award.
player. Yeah, most improved offensive player. That was me. I won that award. They were going to focused the offense around me, Curtis, Dietrich. I went home for the summer. I gained 10 pounds. I came back, and my coach was like, "What happened to you? 10 pounds."
That's not a lot. I mean,
He was, and you could see it in his face.
like he was like
He was
disappointed.
done. Oh, very disappointed. Very disappointed. Like, you lost speed. I'm like, no, I'm good, coach. I'm good.
Like he wanted you
Very
to come back, gain 10 pounds, but it was all muscle. That's what
Yeah,
it is.
but I think he saw the 10 pounds in the wrong place.
Yeah.
I think I felt the 10 pounds in the wrong place. But that's how, and this is in the 90s, that's how cutthroat football is, Division I football is.
Yeah.
That's how cutthroat it is.
You win the most improved player and you come back and they're disappointed.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But I gained the weight. I mean, it was over summer, but I gained the weight. I wouldn't worked out, but it's just mom cooks very well.
You wouldn't get that Korean food up there at Pitt.
No, not at all. But you talk about the other part about the different qualities that these guys have. I talked about Curtis, the Sean Gilberts, Alex Van Pelt. I don't know if you know who that is.
Yeah, he's a quarterback.
Yep, and he's now an offensive coordinator for some pro team right now.
Okay.
He was not a vocal leader, but he was good. And so if we needed something, like if we needed, we need to get this first down, we knew Alex was going to throw a nice little ball. It's going to hit you right in the hands just perfectly. And, we're going to get that first down.
So you're just really good under pressure.
Very good under pressure.
It's had to be a calming voice in the huddle kind of thing, right?
Yeah, and that's what he was. When he was in the huddle and he would call the plays, okay. I looked up like Sean Gilbert was probably, I was probably his as a teammate, I was a fanboy. And
Really?
I think he recognized that.
Okay.
He's like, why you always ask me questions, man? Because he was, you see a guy that's 6'5", I think he was almost 300 pounds, runs a 4.8 40. This is back then, okay? Can run a 4.8 40. You're just like in awe of that. I was just in awe. And then, he got drafted, went and played for the Carolina Panthers, had a successful NFL season career. I was surrounded by so many good players and coaches, like Gruden. He was loud.
Mm-hmm.
But what was cool about Gruden is he would call you by your first and last name.
Every single time?
Raymond Bell. You ready to play tight end? Yeah. Gruden was great. McCarthy was a GA, then became a coach. Quiet.
I see
Very
that.
quiet.
Yeah.
Very quiet, calculated.
Yeah, his demeanor as a coach was very quiet and calculated.
There were so many
Which
others.
is one of those things where I imagine when he did get emotional, everybody's eyes were on him because it really meant something.
Oh, yeah. Marvin Lewis, quiet, but people looked up to him.
Well, he was another one too where, because you only saw like the press conference blow-ups, but, but he had a bad team a couple times.
Well, he did, but he was a successful head coach for a long time.
Wait, Marvin Lewis is one of your coaches?
Yeah. Yeah, when I was a freshman, he was my defensive coordinator.
My gosh, dude, y'all had why was Pitt not better with all these coaches?
We went 5-0. We went 5-0 my
you
freshman
played more
year.
than 5 games.
No. I'm saying we went 5-0, and then we went and played Notre Dame,
and that was it.
But they kicked the crap out of us,
and y'all never recovered.
No, we had a winning season, but that was when we didn't have a lot of bowl games.
Yeah, it wasn't where all you had to win was 6 games. No, you had to win like 10 games.
You had to win like 8 or more games. Yeah. I mean, the guys were coming to me like, hey, Ray, we're going to go play in the Sun Bowl if we win this next game. I'm like, we got to win this next game. We eventually had a winning record that year, but it was, I had so many good coaches.
Really good coaches.
Signetti was my coach. He was one of my coaches later on. He was a tight end coach. Yeah. I used to look at Signetti and go,
how the hell did Pitt get all these coaches? I'm about to be a Pitt Panther fan. The hell with all these LSU people.
Well, they were all in that area. There was a lot of good coaches.
I guess that makes sense.
But they also were they also were
it's like
West
the
Coast
Ohio,
offense.
It's like the Ohio thing. Ohio
it was a West Coast offense, and they had who was it? The San Francisco Walsh, like my head coach when I went to Pitt.
Yeah. Well, y'all just brought the West Coast offense there, so you only got West Coast guys.
So there was a lot of guys that were working, came through Pitt and then went to San Francisco. Look, McCarthy, Gruden, all those guys. They went there, got whatever knowledge they had to get and became who they are today.
Yeah.
Which is pretty cool.
But
But
because a
all
lot of
those
these guys
guys
haven't coached in years, but like everybody knows their names because they were around for so long.
Yeah.
So,
But all those guys, all those guys I talked about were not vocal. They were leaders, they were captains, but they didn't have to be vocal. Like Drew Brees. Drew Brees gets vocal in that pre thing, like
yeah. I mean, that was
and that was it. In the game, you saw him. He was always licking his hands and just throwing dimes all over the place.
Yeah. And
not
I guess
vocal.
It's the emotional maturity to stay calm in a high pressure situation, which is probably the ultimate sign of emotional maturity. High pressure, high stress, and you're not calm, you're not stress free, but it's letting the guys who depend on you know, or not know, but letting the guys depend on you pick up on the energy of, well, and if he's not nervous, if he's just calm, then I gotta settle down.
Yes.
I gotta settle down.
So you had to understand, okay, here comes that feeling. They always say, get that first hit out. Get that first hit out the way and you'll calm down. You'll be all right. 9.9 times out of 10, they were correct.
And also said everybody's got a plan until they get punched in the mouth.
Exactly, right? But the thing is, when you came into those situations, you had to control those emotions. And those guys that I mentioned controlled those emotions very well.
They kept the plan. But yeah, I mean, you get punched in the mouth and keep going. So yeah, Mike Tyson said everybody's got a plan. Well, the supreme athletes, those Drew Brees types, get punched in the mouth and their plan still stays in place, and that's what separates them. And you know what, as parents and dads and, you know, former D1 football players, we get punched in the mouth on a daily basis, and we try to keep the emotional maturity. We try to keep moving forward. It's really tough, and we know that it's tough. So I think we try to instill those values in our kids. Biggest connection to my son is through his adversity in sports, and then he goes to school as well. And so if I can keep things on that level, I'm hoping that he'll take my advice later on in life whenever things really get challenging. But till then, we'll keep using sports. It's a great metaphor for life, and it works no matter what age you are. And I think Ray has proven that by what we've talked about tonight and what we've talked about in the past as well. But we do appreciate everybody for joining us. Make sure you hit the like button, hit the subscribe button as well. Also, drop us a comment below on your most stressful situation, how you handle it, the things you do as a parent, a father, a husband, whatever it may be, that helps stay the course, you know, to keep the emotional maturity as best we can, whether you have kids that are 9 years old trying to find their way on the soccer field, or you have adult kids that are 22 and trying to find their way through college and life and a career for that matter as well. But let us know what you think. And follow us on Spotify as well, right, Ray? We're there, right? You can download the podcast on Spotify. Give us a follow, a like, share our page as well. If you thought this was interesting or any conversation that we had was something that someone else could benefit from, you know, send it to them. Send them the link and send them our way and let them rip us in the comments or agree with us for that matter. It doesn't really matter. This is Ray and I's therapy session each week. We hope you get something out of it as well. And until next time, we'll see you on
New Dad Order.